Welcome back to Wrestling Renaissance. My name is TJ Leo, and I am your undisputed WWP champion.
And I'm Cole 2K.
Your WWT champion, I guess?
Wrestling Renaissance running, so WWW.
WWW champion? Sure. Indeed you are, sir. And I'm here to defend my title for the AEW Full Gear predictions. For those of you who've never watched us before every WWE, PLE, and AEW pay-per-view, we talk about the build-up to the shows, make our official predictions, and on subsequent shows, we break down the results, see how we fared in our predictions, and rate each match on the co-op entertainment review scale of 1 to 10. And as I mentioned today, we are taking a look at AEW Full Gear 2024, which happens this Saturday, I think?
Yes, this Saturday, 23rd.
Full disclaimer, this is before Collision. Assuming they have one this week. So this is being recorded after the final Dynamite, before Full Gear, November 21st. Just as a disclaimer, in case anything changes, which is highly doubtful, but you never know. So let's kick things off with the AEW Tag Team Championship 4-way. Private Party, the current champions, defend against the Outrunners, the Acclaimed, and the Kings of the Black Throne, aka House of Black.
Yeah, I guess.
Did they have a name change?
They're a tag team within the House of Black.
Oh my god, that's stupid.
So I guess they're part of a tag team and part of a faction.
Dumb.
I guess.
I don't like it. So confusing.
It is.
They're the House of Black.
They are the House of Black.
Yeah. Same people. That's stupid. I hate that stuff.
It is.
So there, I don't really think there was much of a build up to this one. They seem to like these fatal four ways for the AEW Tag Team Championships, I must say.
They do. I mean, it definitely seems like they don't focus a lot on building up individual tag teams. I mean, when I do my pick, you'll see that I think that tag teams kind of get over by themselves organically, and kind of force the issue, force attention upon themselves. It doesn't really seem like they put a lot of focus on the actual tag team division.
Which is crazy considering they have two different tag titles.
I mean, they've got the trios, and then they've got the regular tag, and then they've got the Ring of Honor tag, which you don't see that one too much on.
Good. Keep the ROH stuff off the pay-per-views. I hate that crap.
Yep.
So I'm just, correct me if I'm wrong. This is a fatal four-way, or is this a four-way elimination?
I believe it is just a fatal four-way.
Okay, so first pinfall or submission.
First team to win, yeah.
Gotcha.
Just as AEW Tag Team Championship.
I think I've said this in the past before, but I hate this type of match because it always starts out the same way. It always starts out with just some chain wrestling and stuff in the middle of the ring, but inevitably, because it's technically no disqualification, they just eventually all just go all over the place.
Yep.
So why they ever do this as a type of match in either company, because WWE does it as well. Like, just make it a tornado tag.
Yep.
That's what it devolves into anyway. So why bother with this pretending there's rules?
Yeah, you're going to see tag wrestling for 5 minutes or so, and then you'll start getting, people coming in and everybody doing moves, and eventually you'll get all 8 people in the ring at the same time, and everybody doing their signature moves just one after another. You'll see one climb the rope, jump on 5 people outside, and then leaving 2 people left inside, and one.
And sometimes, sometimes these fatal four ways are great. Other times they're just a chaotic mess, and no one really cares.
And then,
so,
like most of them, I'm expecting just a mess.
Yeah.
And just a big cluster.
very rarely, I would say, do they end up being amazing. But there are definitely occasions where they are really good. That being said, I think this comes down to two teams, Private Party and the Outrunners. The Outrunners are kind of super over right now. But that being said, I'm going with Private Party. I think it's too early for them to lose the titles.
Okay. I mean, like you, I have it down to Private Party and the Outrunners. Like I said before, the Outrunners just have gotten themselves over
Yeah.
with their gimmick. They're just gimmicks straight out of the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which they are sports entertainment.
Yeah, they are.
They're 80s pro wrestling. They're just nothing but a gimmick. They're not spectacular in ring technicians, moves, anything like that. They are just 1980s Hulk Hogan-ish gimmick.
Yeah.
Um,
Which is funny that gets over in AEW.
yeah,
Considering
it's crazy since
yeah.
they're supposed to be all the big pro wrestling and ring is 5 stars. The only 5 stars that Outrunners are going to get is if they put stars on their gear.
Oh.
They're. I mean, as far as 5
low.
stars, they're just not. I mean, it's not a poke at them. It's just they're not.
They're entertaining in a different way.
Yeah, yeah. They're sports entertainment more than moves and
It's almost like AEW is targeting the wrong the wrong thing.
Yeah.
It's funny how they prove themselves time and time again that when they go the sports entertainment route, that's when people are like, "Oh, this is good." Just like when the whole feud between Adam Cole and MJF when they were the best friends. Like that was the hottest thing at the time. It's like that's what makes wrestling so entertaining is that sports
Fun.
entertainment stuff.
I mean, that's the kind of stuff that makes it fun for me to watch.
Yeah. And when you have a great match on top of that, that's peak wrestling. That's peak wrestling right there. So, they seem to get the match style or the match part of it down, but they're not clicking into that other piece of the puzzle.
I mean, but having said that, I'm not a huge fan of the Outrunners, but I'm sure if I just watch them a lot more and kind of, let myself go into the hype and just watch them, I'm sure I'd enjoy it. I'm sure I'd enjoy them a lot more. But
so who'd you go with?
I actually picked the Outrunners.
Oh,
I thought maybe it was too early to take it off Private Party, but I think after the way that the Acclaimed got really hot, just like the Outrunners did, and Tony didn't put the belts on the Acclaimed when a lot of people thought they should have, which would have been, I think, at Revolution last year before Grand Slam.
Yeah.
They were just so hot, so over, just like Outrunners are now. And I think
you're hoping Tony's learned his lesson and then we'll pull the trigger.
Yep, just go ahead and pull the trigger while they're as hot as they are. Because I'm not sure if they can get really hotter than they are right now. With AEW hardcores are so behind Outrunners right now.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't have that much faith in Tony. We'll see though. We'll see.
I don't either, but hopefully he's learning.
Yeah. That'll be a good indicator, I think.
Yep.
Almost all right.
I hope they do.
Yeah, six years in, he's starting to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I have Private Party for 3.
I have Outrunners for 1.
Oh, okay. So not super confident. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good enough. All right. Next up, we've got Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher in a sort of grudge match, I guess.
Yeah. It's essentially just a grudge match.
Yeah. I don't have too much to say about this one other than Kyle Fletcher's kind of impressing me with this. I never really paid much attention to him. And now all of a sudden he's, he cut his hair and he's got a look to him like he's hungry.
He's bulked up and there's something about him that he's really stepped up since joining the Don Callis family.
Yeah. So I that's probably my only point of note in this feud is I think it'll be a very cool match, and Kyle's definitely upping his game. But I can't see Osprey losing this one though. So I'm going
Yeah, I
with
don't see
Osprey.
Osprey losing either. I saw their match they had back in April when they were here in Atlanta. Just a random Will Osprey match. I think it's when he was starting to go through the Don Callis family, wrestling everybody while
Mm,
he was still part of the Don Callis family.
right.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, since then, I think one thing that's kind of lost in this story is the official breakup of Kyle Fletcher and his tag team partner Mark Davis, because they were part of United Empire. Um,
I don't
yeah,
know how you keep track of this many factions, man.
yeah, I know, right? Well, I'm the wrestling trivia champion, so I have to,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they broke up. You know, they had been part of a team for a long time, and I guess that's a little bit of why I thought they might have been kind of holding him back. You know, because he was just a tag wrestler for a while, and I figured they were just waiting for his Davis to come back and they'd be a team again. But I mean, I guess they officially broke it up, and they're really trying to push Kyle as a single star.
Yep.
I think he could have what it takes to be
Yeah. This is
good.
sort of laying the foundation for it, I think.
Yep.
We'll see if he lives up to it in the actual match itself.
Yep.
Um, as far as points, I got Osprey for 4.
I've got Osprey for 5.
Oh, all right.
Yep. I don't see him losing. I mean, I guess he could, but it wouldn't be the end of the story. You know, it
No,
wouldn't be the
no.
end of their feud.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we've got MJF versus Roderick Strong. I don't have a huge amount to say about this one. I'm a big fan of Roderick Strong. I think it sucks that he's always kind of I don't want to call him enhancement talent because he's not enhancement talent, but he's used in a way that he's like high profile enhancement talent. He never
Like the
really
Miz.
wins. Yeah, I'd say a little bit higher than the Miz. Almost like a Shinsuke, where he's kind of always up there, but he never really wins big ones. He occasionally wins the Intercontinental title, but doesn't really do much of anything. Um, he elevates other people, and that sucks. I really want Roderick to be more than that. But I don't see that changing in this match. This is a stepping stone for MJF towards Adam Cole. So for MJF to lose this going into and continuing that Adam Cole feud, I don't see that. So I've got MJF for this one.
The more
Unless
you
Adam
talk,
Cole interferes and helps Roderick beat him. But I don't know.
that's exactly what I was about to say. The more you talk, the more I'm playing in my head that Adam Cole comes out and costs
Yeah.
MJF the match.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, for all the reasons that you just explained, I don't see MJF losing either. I mean,
Yeah.
this match is um, just a bridge to get to MJF and Cole.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And considering Adam Cole doesn't have a match still, yeah, has he been wrestling on TV? Adam
Yes,
Cole?
he has.
He has.
He did
Okay.
not this week. He had a promo this week.
Because I'm
But
wondering if they're just keeping him safe. Maybe he's like not fully healed, so they're just keeping on little away from the ring as much as they can. I don't know, but if he's wrestled, then maybe not. But
yeah, I mean, they put him in the ring with uh, Buddy Matthews, Aleister Black, and last week was Takeshita.
oh
So I
wow,
mean,
big guys.
yeah. So I mean, they put him in matches with some
All right, maybe not
well
then.
known talent, some top talent.
Okay. Yeah, I think it makes sense for him to interfere in this match. I think it makes as much sense for Kyle O'Reilly to make an appearance as well, potentially.
Yep. Because if you watch Dynamite or highlights of it, O'Reilly came out during
Yeah.
Cole's promo and talked to him and walked out.
Which was a pretty decent promo for Kyle. I got to give him that. He's not a great talker.
No, he's not.
But it seems pretty real. You know, it seemed
Yeah.
pretty down to earth conversation.
I am hoping that Kyle gets away from the conglomeration.
Yeah, Kyle's really good in the ring. I hate seeing him just kind of floating around.
Yeah.
You know? What happened to Bobby Fish?
He, when he was in AEW, he had an interview with someone. I don't know if it was Van Vliet or if it was someone else or just a podcast, but topic of WWE and Triple H came up, and Bobby Fish basically said that he would go to war anytime for Triple H while he was under contract with, AEW, and eventually never appeared on AEW again. So he's floating around the Indies. He's in MLW right now, I do believe.
Oh, so he's not even under contract with AEW. They let him go.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yep.
That's one way to kill your career.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay. One thing I want to comment as well, and this is something that I can't believe more wrestlers are not privy to. Adam Cole, you got to lay off the spray tan, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's so bad. It's so bad. It's not even like mildly, you know what I mean? Like it's not like you're getting away with it. It looks terrible in every way.
It's like the match with Malachi Black. It's like he did a spray tan with his knee pads on, because he pulled his knee pads down and you saw the tan lines. On Dynamite,
and his hands. Have you seen his tan? His hands.
Yeah,
they look
and
awful.
last night or on Dynamite this week, he had lines all around his wrist. Like his hand was white and his arm was orange.
Yeah, he's got like up here is all white, and then his palms are completely white. It's like, dude, what are you doing? That looks like I thought Miz had a bad spray tan. You've taken his spot as worst spray tan.
A few shades lighter. Come on.
Or just tan normally, or don't tan. You don't need to tan. There's plenty of white wrestlers who are pale as ghosts.
Yeah, but if you're tan, it adds muscle, and it
does.
Yeah, he needs all the muscle he can get, or the look of muscle. He needs all of it he can get.
That's true. That's a good point. Then tan, or tan better. Go to a tanning salon. Like I get the tanning salons and tanning. It's not healthy, technically speaking. Spray tan is probably the easiest, fastest, and least damaging to your health. But God, it looks awful. You look orange at times. It's. I had to say it because I saw him again, and I'm just like, dude.
Yeah.
I can't ignore it anymore. You look terrible.
I mean, he has no woman to tell him to not do it. I guess I don't know. Since him and
we need to find him on Twitter and be like, dude, lay off the spray tan. It looks terrible.
Yeah.
Someone needs to tell him. How is nobody telling him this?
Or you can
drives me nuts.
See him on Twitch. He streams on Twitch several times a week.
Oh, I got to get on there then and be like, I'll pay a $5 donation fee just to tell you need to stop spray tanning, man.
There you go.
I'll do it. All right. So yeah, we both have MJF. I have MJF for 6.
I have MJF for 8. That's the one I'm most confident in.
Ooh, damn. All right.
So like I said, this is not an end to it. This is just a step towards
stepping stone.
Yep.
All right.
You said 6.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we've got Swerve Strickland versus Bobby Lashley, making his pay-per-view debut for AEW. And I gotta say that this feud's stupid. I'm so flabbergasted with the way that they're handling Swerve Strickland since he lost his title. Like, you're just shitting on the man. Like, what are you doing? And now you're going to have him face the debut of Bobby Lashley, who can't lose, because if Bobby Lashley loses, there goes his momentum. You know, he comes in, he's like, all right, I'm the almighty Bobby Lashley, and I lost. You can't do that. So you're gonna feed Swerve Strickland to him? I don't get it. This makes me mad. I'm so over this crap. If I was Swerve, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing with me?
Yeah, I mean, I wish they would have built up a Swerve and Shelton Benjamin feud to be on the pay-per-view this weekend,
Yeah.
and then have the debut of Bobby Lashley at the pay-per-view. Because they just kind of built Shelton up for 2 weeks and
Lost.
then had him lose clean to Swerve, and
Yeah.
then it's all about Bobby now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, Shelton's a stud. They could have easily built Shelton up better than they did longer for when they did, and then have a pay-per-view with Swerve this weekend.
My thought with Shelton, honestly, at this point, is that he has no interest in being the man. I just genuinely believe that wherever he goes, he's not the man, and I don't think that is strictly booking at this point. I think he just doesn't care. I think he's like, I'm getting a paycheck, I'm on TV. You know, I don't need to be the man who wins. I don't need to be the man who wins the title. I don't believe in Shelton Benjamin as a I just don't buy him as having the passion to be the man. You know, he's great in the ring. Don't get me wrong. He's amazing, but I've never felt like he cares. You know, maybe back in the day when he was like the gold standard and was like, you know, on top. But like, if both WWE and AEW look at you and go, no, but all the people are going, yep, we're missing something. And I think he just doesn't care. I think he doesn't position himself. He doesn't fight for himself.
Yeah, I think that's
You know
more
what I mean?
more it. He just doesn't fight for himself. He's not like a politician backstage. You know, he doesn't politic for
He just
himself.
takes what he's given.
Right.
Yeah. So I just, you know, I'm at that point where I just, you know, he's just there. No matter what company he's in, he's just there. I love him in the ring. Don't get me wrong. All the respect in the world to him. He's amazing. But he's never going to be anything other than a secondary, you know, mid-carder at this point.
I mean, if it was just him and MVP, or maybe him, MVP, and Leo Rush or something, you know, if he was the biggest one in whatever faction he's in, he could be a lot higher. You know, he could do a lot more bigger things. But I mean, he's paired with Bobby Lashley. In WWE, he was in a team with Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
You know, he's never been the guy of the group that he's been in.
No,
he's not
hasn't.
The guy in, you know, he's not the guy in the group.
No.
And he really could be.
Yeah, and looking at this feud, I have two other thoughts. The second one kind of goes along with the first one in that no matter who loses this match, it hurts them, which is never the way you want to have a feud booked. In my opinion, you always want there to be a clear, this is going to help this person, not this is going to hurt this person. You know what I mean?
You're right.
Like if Swerve loses, he's just further down the shithole that he's already in. If Bobby loses, shitty debut for him. So it's like, why was it booked this way? Bobby should have been against someone else, not Swerve. Swerve should have been doing something else.
Yeah.
And then thirdly, I think that the fact that they have a faction name, you know, the Hurt Syndicate. I wouldn't be shocked whatsoever to see a debut of a third member at the show that maybe helps Bobby win. I just it's not going to be Bobby and Shelton forever. There's a third man in this.
Probably not. But
You know?
I don't know. I'm just not tired of it, but I want to see ex-WWE people do original stuff that they didn't do in AEW or that they didn't do in WWE. You know, you've got
I get that.
the Hurt Syndicate, you've got the Standard of Excellence versus the Gold Standard. You know, of course, Bobby Lashley's still the same Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting how he retained his gimmick,
Yep. Still
which I think we talked about last time, right? Is that
yeah.
WWE's like less, they don't care as much about keeping IP.
Right.
Um,
I think
if they
they
let a wrestler go.
yeah, I think they let the wrestler buy back the IP.
Yeah.
I think was what I read, which makes
Which is
sense.
interesting because that means they can't
Yeah.
feature Lashley anymore on WWE television. Like even in like historical videos, I'm assuming, not without
I
his
don't know.
permission or not without paying him. I have to assume.
Right.
Um, but it's an aside. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this match. I think the whole booking of it is stupid. It's gonna hurt somebody, and I just don't like it.
Yeah, it's like how many more losses can Swerve take
Yeah,
before he
yeah,
just doesn't seem important anymore?
yeah. He's just been flushed down the toilet since his loss. It's so bizarre to me, and he never got a rematch
Nope.
for the
I
title
guess they don't really do automatic rematches.
in AEW. Yeah, I guess they
Yeah.
don't, do they? All right. Do you have any other thoughts before we get to who we think's gonna win?
I don't really. I mean, just that, I wish it would have been Swerve and uh,
Shelton.
Shelton. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless if it's not a debuting member, the only thing I can really see to keep Swerve strong would be as if Prince Nana turns on him and joins the Hurt Syndicate. But I
Mm.
mean, yeah, it would keep Swerve sympathetic. But I mean, Nana in the Hurt Syndicate does absolutely nothing for either.
I was gonna say they've already got a
It
manager.
does nothing.
Like,
Yeah. So,
yeah, they don't need Nana.
but I mean, that would basically be the only thing that could keep sympathy on Swerve, unless it's a debuting member, like you said.
Yeah. I don't know if it's too early to debut the third member, and if we'll save that for TV. But I pretty much guarantee you there's a third member, whether they debut at the pay per view or not. I don't know, but
At some point, there will
um,
be, I'm sure.
yeah, I can't imagine there not being. But yeah, I'm going with Lashley. I,
Me too.
I again, I hate it. I hate everything about it. Um, again, I don't hate either of these guys. I
I like them
really like.
both. I
Yeah,
like them
Swerve is
both.
amazing. Lashley's fantastic. Um,
I mean,
I
I said
mean,
last
I
week,
would.
Swerve's probably my favorite AEW wrestler.
Yeah, yeah, he's fantastic. But
Yep.
eventually, if you continuously have him lose, I'm not going to care anymore. You
Right.
know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Even as someone who knows the style of booking, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, he keeps losing, but he's still awesome. It's like eventually that gets trumped.
Yeah.
Um, um, yeah, I loved Bobby in WWE during the end of the pandemic era when he was just destroying, and then he beat Drew McIntyre at the WrestleMania with the crowd and the
Yep.
rain, whatever.
First
I
drive back.
cheered.
Yep.
I was like, that's sick. I love that kind of stuff. That's awesome. Great, cool
Yeah.
booking. Um, yeah, I'm sorry for the rant, but this match just makes me mad. I just hate it.
Yeah. It's kind of a bummer that we have to see it so soon.
Yeah. I've got Lashley for 2.
I've got Lashley for 3, just
Okay.
with the hope that
Yeah, exactly. That's why
Swerve
it was low on me too.
can win. Yeah.
I was like, maybe Swerve will pull it out. Who knows? But
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't imagine Lashley losing. Oh man, that was fun. All right, let's get into the next one here. We're halfway through. Adam Page versus Jay White. So basically, the entire idea of this feud is that Jay White has always beat Adam Page. Um, Basically it. There's not much really else to it. Jay White's just being like, I'm giving you one more opportunity to beat me, cause reasons.
But didn't Paige beat Jay White in the tournament they had a few months ago
Oh, I don't know.
for
We'd have to look that one up.
the Owen Hart tournament?
I'm pretty sure the whole idea of the the feud is that Jay White's never or always beaten. Let's see what we can find here.
24 men's.
Oh no, yeah, it's Adam Page has beat him once.
Beat him in the Owen Hart tournament this year.
Yeah, in July.
Yep.
Yeah. And then Jay White's beat him at Wrestle Dream, Dynamite, All In, Forbidden Door.
I know they wrestled back in old Ring of Honor days.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not even a good feud. The reasoning for the feud's not even correct. Yeah. So I don't have much to say about this. I'm not a fan of Jay White personally. I think he's kind of boring. Honestly, I don't think he has much personality.
He is a little dry.
He's
really good in the ring.
Yeah.
I think they can. I think they can push him to be a bigger star, but he's just dry.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in AEW that are really good in the ring, but that's not what makes you stand out in AEW anymore. It's more than that now. Yeah.
That's why.
So yeah,
not on the card.
Oh, that is actually surprising.
Yeah, it is
to have a debut like he had, and then he's just not.
It is, and it's not surprising. No, it's not surprising. It's disappointing.
Is it disappointing?
It is.
I'm kind of over Ricochet, honestly. Because it's like, dude, where do he falls into the same category that I was talking about with Shelton, where it's like, no matter where you go, you're not the man. Why is that? There's a reason, but why is it? I don't know. There's something missing. Maybe it's just too soon. Maybe they're letting them cook a little bit longer. But I don't know. I think there's something. I think there's something behind the scenes that we're not privy to with these two.
I don't know.
It's not bad luck when it follows you between companies. I'll put it to you that way. Yeah, I have Adam Page. I've pretty much always had Adam Page on every predictions that we've had, and I think I've lost every time. But this is one of those occasions where if the buildup is Adam Page can't beat Jay White, then Adam Page is going to beat Jay White.
Right.
I don't understand how it could go any other way. You're not going to bury Adam Page to Jay White. Like, why would you do that? I mean, it is AEW, so anything's possible. But I don't understand why you would do that.
Yeah, I mean, Page has lost the last few times that I can remember. I mean, I can't remember a big match, the last one that Page won. I think it was probably it was the
Swerve.
The Swerve in the cage.
Yeah.
But after that,
which makes me even more mad, by the way.
Yeah.
The fact that he just crushed the former champion and then went on to lose several times. It's like, what?
Yeah.
They have no sense of like future booking. You know what I mean? No long-term booking whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely what it seems like.
They make it up as they go along, which is why it's so hard for me to predict them, because they just, I choose what makes sense in my mind.
Yeah.
But apparently they don't agree.
Yeah, I mean, I like when matches aren't so predictable, like they can be in WWE at the smaller PLEs.
For sure.
But not to where it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So I mean, I picked Page too, but basically just because I don't want to see him just lose again and go away for a few months like he has before.
Yeah, pretty sad that coming out of the Swerve Adam Page crazy match that neither of these guys were elevated.
Right. Yeah.
They both lowered down the card somehow after having a main event.
Seemed less important.
Yeah. Yeah, they were the main event, were they not? Yeah. Of that pay-per-view.
Yep,
and it wasn't even for a title. And they sunk down the card. Like,
I mean, and that was
Terrible booking.
that was right after Danielson lost the title and got a plastic bag over his head. And you have that match go on after that, and then what they've both done since then. It just feels
Garbage booking. That's what it is. It's garbage booking. No plans. Yes, it's brutal. All right. I've got Adam Page for 5.
I've got Page for 4.
Okay. We're pretty even on this so far. I'm actually kind of digging it because if we tie, I'm still champ.
Oh, you said 5.
Imagine if, yeah, I said 5. Imagine if the first person to defend their title is because of tie. That would be hilarious.
The thing is, though, if they're all different point values so far.
So yeah. But they're all like around each other. You know what I mean? We're not far off on most of our point values. We're at the most 2.
Yeah,
I think
at the most we're
2 points.
Yeah, we're 2.
Yeah, so far. Let's see how the last 3 matches go, which are all championship matches. Starting with the TNT Championship, Jack Perry defends against Daniel Garcia. I loved the backstage encounter that these two had, where Daniel shoved him up against a wall and was like, not backing down to him. You know what I mean? Do you remember that?
Yeah. My favorite
was
part of that
epic.
was my favorite part of that was actually Jack Perry looking at him and said, "They used to dance for me too."
Yeah. Love that segment. That was great.
Yeah, that was really cool. Yep.
Which is really, really hard. It's really surprising for me to say anything positive about Jack Perry in a promo segment. And even Daniel Garcia, I don't think I've given him much thought, honestly, since we've done the show. But they both shined in that segment, and I still am not a huge fan of either of these guys.
Me neither.
Daniel Garcia, to me, he's good, but he's. I hate to say this because it's not the end all be all by any means, especially when I like Adam Cole, but he's kind of small. He's, you know what I mean? He's kind of.
He is a little bit.
He doesn't like invoke. He's not larger than life. Wait, I'll say that. Not to say that Jack Perry isn't either, but at least Jack Perry has like an aura to him, especially with like that freaking hair, crazy hair he's got, and
is a big prick.
Yeah. Whereas Daniel Garcia is just kind of, I don't know. In general, I'm saying not particularly that segment, because I really liked that segment. I thought it brought out some great stuff in both of them, and Daniel's really doing a decent job of trying to get you to believe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't think he's there yet. Beyond that, I don't have much to say about the actual feud.
I mean,
I think the match will be okay.
I'm kind of glad that they've kind of separated Jack Perry from the Young Bucks and the Elite and that whole.
Yeah, they're kind of just gone right now, right?
Yeah. Last time we saw them, they said that they were tired of things going on and they were going to go work from home. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, Jack Perry stayed behind and, he's got his title match, and definitely seems like they've officially moved away from that faction. And, remember their old feud where they pile drove Tony Khan and hurt him and said they were going to take over the company, and
never really went anywhere.
And Okada became part of the group, and you haven't seen him with everybody in the last few weeks. So it seems like I don't know if that means they're going to eventually try to turn Jack Perry back baby face again or what, but I mean,
I hope not. I think he's better. This Jack, I like this Jack Perry more now. It took me a while to get to that point, but I mean, you want dancing Jungle Boy again?
That's the thing. It wasn't him that was dancing. It was the crowd that was waving their hands. Yeah. It was just, freshly clean shaven Jack Perry with the long hair, looking like a kid. next to everybody except Darby Allin because that's the only one smaller than him.
Yeah, that's true.
Um, you know, but yeah, I mean, not that I like him. He's just I want to see him get his ass beat more than I want to see babyface Jack Perry win.
I see.
So I'd rather keep Jack Perry as a heel
I would agree.
and see people kick the shit out of him.
That's fair. That's fair. Who do you got winning this one?
I actually have Daniel Garcia winning this one. I think they've kind of built up Garcia, and I just don't see how where else they can go with Jack Perry if he's not with the Young Bucks. So I think Garcia takes the title from him.
Surprisingly, I agree. I think he's at the point where it's shit or get off the pot. And unless Jack Perry comes out with some sort of sneaky thing that we didn't see coming,
Yep.
I think Daniel's going to take it. Now that I'm talking about it, I'm a little less confident, but I'm not. We have a rule, no change in your shit. So I'm going to stick with my pick.
See, I disagree with you. My picks are not locked in until we say them.
Oh, well, I've already said it, I guess, technically.
Okay. Fair enough.
I said I agreed with
Okay.
Yeah. But I can see a world where Jack Perry wins this because of some surprise. If they are separating him from the Elite, which it sounds like they are, it wouldn't surprise me to see him side with someone else. Maybe he gets a heavy, who helps him keep it. But I think that would be a bad move. But I also don't know where Jack Perry goes from here though either. So that's another question. Maybe he gets a rematch. Who knows? But yeah, I have Garcia for 7.
So do I. Garcia for 7.
Oh,
I had to say something last time, didn't I?
Son of a bitch.
None of them were the same.
I'm telling you, man, this could be a tie. It has the potential. I would say it has the most potential so far for a tie.
Oh, we're definitely different on the last two for point value.
Oh yeah, definitely. 100%. Yeah. All right, let's get to those. The next one, the TBS Championship. Mercedes Moné defends against Chris Statlander. So I've heard this feud's pretty hot, which is surprising.
Who do you hear that from?
Oh, really? I did a bunch of research online. It seems like Chris Statlander's got a lot of support right now, or is that not? You don't think so?
She's a babyface, sure.
Oh, but you don't think the feud's been decent?
I'm still kind of stuck on why does she all of a sudden turn babyface? She blamed it on, she blamed it on Mercedes, basically saying, Mercedes came into the company and made
I don't
her
know
think
why this
different.
belt. I'm sorry for fidgeting constantly. This belt does not want to stay on my shoulder. I know that's not a.
You just need a bigger one to put over your shoulder.
Yeah, I do.
This one stays up just fine.
God, look at the size of that thing.
That's what she said.
That's no moon. That's a space station. Is it really that big in real life?
Yeah.
I must be. That thing is huge. Or you're tiny, one of the two. Are you a midget and you just
we prefer the term little people, but no.
Oh, sorry, yeah, the new term is little person. Yeah.
No, I'm not.
You're not? Okay. That's just a big ass belt. Right.
It is a big belt.
All right. Sorry for
I don't know. I'm just not interested in anything that Mercedes does. She is so dry. Anytime she comes on, I just don't care.
Yeah.
I don't not like her. I just don't care.
Yeah.
They've made a complete mockery of Camille.
Mm.
She came in, she supposed to be like a big Diesel. You know what Diesel was to Shawn Michaels when he came in, just a big heavy who didn't take any crap and
Yeah.
kind of built him up. But Mercedes has just kind of treated her like second class, and I'm just ready to see Mercedes lose. Um, I, I think just it wasn't a failure bringing her in, but it sure seems like she sold them a false bill of goods coming in and changing things and just being the big star that she thought she was.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to her. I think she got a huge chip on her shoulder that is not doing her any favors. Um, that being said, that could just be her on-screen character, and in real life, she's very humble. Who knows? Obviously, I've never met her, but, um, yeah, I miss Sasha Banks. I miss the old her. Back when she was feuding with Charlotte and Bailey, and like, I don't know, man.
When she
Something's
would
off
come
with.
across as a do-gooder babyface, or someone who was relatable to
Yeah,
you know
yeah. She's not
just a
relatable at
common
all
person.
right now.
No, good Lord,
She's
no.
her hair's like 1,000 colors.
Yep,
She's got so much makeup that she looks like the Joker on crack. She's
she's like that popular girl in high school that you just wanted to s- see her walking down the hallway and trip for no reason.
yeah.
You just had that. It just laugh at her.
Which maybe that's the point. Maybe that's her goal. In which case, I guess mission successful.
I guess, but
Um, but it's not entertaining.
no, it's not.
No, I agree. Um, that being said, who do you have?
I've got Chris Statlander winning. I've
Okay,
got Stat taking the title from
all right.
her. They've turned her face, and I think they've seen that Mercedes having the title and being that high on the card and high profile
Working.
is not working. Exactly.
Yeah,
It's just not working.
yeah. I'm hoping you're correct. I hope Statlander takes it just so that we get rid of Monet for a bit, or if she does something different that might be more entertaining. Um, but that being said, I don't think it's gonna happen. I think Monet's gonna keep it, but I'm not super confident either way. I I can see it going both ways, but I also don't really care either way. Um, I only have Monet for 1 point.
I've got Stat for two. I'm actually thinking that maybe Camille turns on Mercedes and costs Mercedes the match.
That'd be cool.
I mean, that would definitely be something for Mercedes to do after she loses the title, and I think this could start that.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
And you said
One.
one?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Which leads us to the main event, the AEW World Championship. John Moxley defends against Orange Cassidy. Um, I don't know. This correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I've read and from the very entertaining November Rain hype video, this to me screams like just a stepping stone for Moxley's title reign. I don't I don't see Orange Cassidy winning this. I don't see why he would win it. Um, I I don't even know what the point of it is, other than again, just it's he has to defend his title, so we need someone in there until we get to the point. By the way, are they really called the Death Riders now?
They are called the Death Riders now. Yep. That is on the uh, Titantron intro video, or the Titantron graphics.
Okay, I mean, I guess they had to change it from away from BBC.
BCC. Don't
BCC.
look up that other one. BBC.
BBC. The British Broadcasting Company.
Sure, yeah.
I guess they had to change that since Regal's gone. You know, that was kind of the idea behind
That's
that
about time.
name. Yeah, but the Death Riders, oof, not great, in my opinion, anyway.
I mean, they've got Death Riders, Outrunners.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got 1,000 names for everything. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it'll be a good match because I love Orange Cassidy. I love Moxley. I still have absolutely no clue where this story is going. I have no clue. You know,
No, and it's I mean, and it's somewhat interesting. Just
you
thinking
do.
of
You're friends with Moxley.
he
Oh,
didn't call me
still,
this week.
no? He still got
No,
his belt. He's
I,
going to
well,
need that this weekend.
he does need it. I'll maybe send it to him.
Okay.
I'll ship it up to Newark. But as long as he gives it back to me, so I can have it next week on our recap show. After a win.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think you will win.
we'll see.
We'll see.
That's why we're here today.
Yes, this is true. Yeah, I don't know where they're going with it. I don't know why the belt's in the briefcase. You know, the idea of there being this like mysterious force pulling the strings behind the scenes doesn't seem like a thing anymore. You know, everyone was like, "Oh, Shane McMahon's behind this, and it's an invasion." It's like, I don't know, man. I don't think that's what it is at all anymore. I think that ship sailed, and this is just a different way for that faction to be portrayed. I do think that Moxley has a secret that he's keeping still, but I don't think there's like a mysterious figure behind the scenes anymore. I think it's something else. You know, what that is, I don't
Definitely
know.
seems like that way. Now.
Yeah, I don't. I would be surprised if even they know. Honestly,
That's true.
yeah. Moxley was probably the. Who knows? I mean, it could have been Moxley, or it could have been Tony being like, "Hey, yeah, well, I mean, we'll get you to put the belt in the briefcase. You know, you won't actually wear it. You know, you'll say, you know, you'll all understand one day. You know, we'll build up this mystery. You know, and then they don't get to the part in the conversation where
Yeah.
they tell you what the mystery actually is.
Yeah, I mean, it apparently Moxley pretty much has all creative control over this whole
Mm,
storyline, of how it goes. I'm sure, Tony has a say of who's
yeah,
going to actually take the title off of him, but, Moxley pretty much, they go by Moxley's idea for how this goes, pretty
yeah,
much. I mean, which is okay. I mean, it's somewhat interesting.
yeah.
It, it's just so confusing watching his little backstage vignettes and promos because he speaks in code and it's, you don't really get any kind of answers on anything.
One might say it's Wyattish.
I mean, I wouldn't go that bad, but
Well,
maybe
I mean, it depends. If it doesn't go anywhere, it's Wyattish.
that is true.
If we do get some sort of answer eventually, I will rescind my comparison.
Then it could be
Um,
one step up in the neighborhood of Karrion Cross and Final Testament.
yeah. Well, at least they're not a black hole of a charisma black hole. Yeah.
Have you seen Wheeler Yuta and Claudio? When they were
Um.
giving out charisma, I
Ye-
think they missed that line.
Yeah, Yuta, I totally agree with. He's the
And Marina Shafir.
oh yeah, she's not
I
good.
mean, she's a strong silent type because if she's opens her mouth and talks, then she's really not strong or silent. So yeah,
That's true. Yeah, I don't know, man. Um, I don't know. What I keep reserving judgment on this storyline because I'm waiting for an answer as to like what is it? What is the
yeah.
secret? What is behind it? Why are you keeping the belt in the briefcase? Are you ever going to explain any of that? And it's probably too early to say whether that's the case. I'm hoping if we don't get an answer by the next pay-per-view, I think
And there's
I
no
think
way that title belt fits in that briefcase.
no. After what I just saw,
I mean,
there's no way.
if they're trying to pass off the title belt is in that briefcase, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah, I
And
agree.
then,
That briefcase
I
is
mean,
pretty small.
kind of lost in this whole thing, and I don't think anything will come from it this pay-per-view, is Christian Cage, because he still does have that contract for
Oh, he hasn't
his.
cashed that in yet, eh?
He hasn't cashed that in yet, but I
Hmm. How
I
long
don't
does
see
that last
him.
for, that contract? Does he just...
Who knows until
It's not like a Money in
Tony.
the Bank 1 year thing. It's...
I'm sure it's something like that.
Oh, okay.
Um, or until Tony forgets that he has it.
Oh, God. Yeah, I don't see Christian taking it off of another heel. I think that doesn't make much sense.
Right.
Unless they turn Christian face, which that seems like a strange decision. They, man, if anything is clear as the water in Croatia, it's that when we do a WWE prediction show, we go, oh yeah, this makes sense. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh, I can see where they're going with this. Oh yeah. And when we do an AEW show, we go, huh? And what are they doing? And why was it booked this way? You know what I mean? It's an interesting contrast, these two
It is,
companies.
yeah. But I mean, I do, like I said before, I do like that we can't always see what's going to happen and where things are going to go, but it's just because they don't make sense all the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Not that it's not where where sometimes in WWE we don't know where it's going to go because there's options of where it can go,
there's
of where things
16
can
different
go.
ways that could go.
Like
Yeah,
like Seth Rollins losing, and hey, he could go to Punk, he can go to Drew, he can go do this or this or this. But
yeah.
Bronson Reed, if he loses, well, where does he go? None of us had him going to the Bloodline
No,
to be in War Games.
yeah,
They
yeah. None
they
of us had
surprised
that.
us with that. But yeah, going back to AEW, it's hard to predict just because what are they going to do? We don't see where
Yeah,
things can go, and they surprise it. They do something afterwards, and like, what the hell? Why'd
yes.
they do
I think
that?
we've had this. Yeah, I think we've had this conversation before, where it's like just because something is surprising doesn't make it good. It has to be
Right.
surprising and make sense. Where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't see that coming. Not,
Right.
oh, what? I didn't see
Yeah.
that coming because it's stupid. you know,
Yeah.
like the death bag shit with Daniel Bryan. Like that was oh god, that was
Yeah.
stupid. Um, yeah, yeah. All right, let's get to predictions. Yeah, again, I don't see a world where Orange wins this. I would love to see Orange win the title eventually, but I don't think it makes any sense for Orange to win it right now. So I'm going with Moxley.
Yeah. I don't think this is it. I don't think this is the time that Moxley loses it. He just got it, what, 2 months ago?
Yeah, something like that.
August at All Out.
It's been
No.
oh, so it's been like 3 or 4 months then.
Oh, no, that was. No, he got it at the last pay-per-view.
September, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, all out, all out, all out.
Wrestle Dream.
Wrestle Dream,
He got it,
yes,
Wrestle
Wrestle
Dream.
Dream. Yeah, you're right.
Um, I mean, and conspicuous by not having a match that's kind of part of this whole storyline is Darby Allin. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he will come out and play a role in this or what.
Oh yeah, fuck.
I mean,
Moxley and Orange Cassidy is going to be filled with interference.
yeah,
It's going to be a shit show.
but I do still see Moxley
Yeah,
having the title at the end of the night when they go off
yeah,
the air.
or at least a briefcase.
The title, I think, will make an appearance.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
think he'll take it out?
they have to, right? I mean,
Has he ever shown it since he won it?
no, they've never shown it since they put it in the bag.
I wonder if he's. I don't want to say they've changed the belt, but I wonder if they're going to do something with that. If there's a reason that they've been saving it. I don't know what it would be, but
I don't know either.
I think it would be really funny if they bring out the briefcase, but now it's an entirely different briefcase because they realized that the old one was too small to fit the belt in. Now it's a much bigger briefcase, and you're like, oh well, we know what's in that thing.
Yeah, they have like a big 18-inch carry-on rolling cart for it,
Oh my god!
or like one of
All
those
right.
big lot carts that they had the Crown Jewel Championships.
Oh God! Don't even. I mean the AEW title is huge, but I definitely think the Crown Jewel Championship
Oh,
beat
for
it out.
sure. It was, yeah,
That
oh yeah.
that monstrosity that needs to be carried by like 6 people. Yeah, pretty brutal. Let me just double
Yeah.
check on something real quick here. What's the date today?
Today's is
Okay,
the, yeah.
21st. Um, yeah, okay. So I've got Moxley for 8.
Yep, and I've got Moxley for 6.
Okay. Wow, man,
No
it's
ties, I
gonna
don't
be.
think.
I think there's a distinct possibility that there might be a tie here, depending on how things go. We'll see, though. We'll see.
Too much variance between
Yeah.
picks. I think so.
All right. We'll see. Hopefully this is my first. Hopefully this is Wrestling Renaissance's first defense
The ones
of
that
the
we differ
predictions
on,
championship.
there's only what, 2? Moxley, Osprey, Garcia.
Private Party we disagreed on.
Yep, Staten, Mercedes,
And
and
Stab. I think that's
uh,
it.
I thought there was
Yeah,
one more. Nope, yep,
I think
that's it. Just 2.
yeah, it was just 2, Private Party and the Monet match. Yeah. But we also
Yeah,
we only agreed on 1 in terms of points. So
right. The
yeah,
ones that
it'll
we
be interesting.
disagreed on, one was a 1 point difference and one was a 2 point difference.
Okay. Interesting.
Very.
Interesting. And are we going to do the same thing as we did last time, where you don't tally it
I,
until the show?
I will not tally it until the
Okay.
show.
All right. Interesting. All right. Cool. I guess we should mention that there's also a segment for the show, a champagne championship celebration for who was it?
Mariah May
Mariah May. Yeah. What is
for
that?
for a title that she won a few months ago.
Yeah. What the hell is
Uh,
that? I mean, it must have some significance to be on a pay-per-view.
an excuse to get her on the show, and
Someone
maybe,
else.
yeah, could be Julia Hart since she's coming back.
Was she a Julia Hart? Was she? She
House of
was a
Black.
wrestler?
Yep, she was
Really?
the female in the House of Black. She had the
I thought she was just a valet, like a
T.
valet.
No, she had the
Was
TBS
she
title.
bad?
Define bad.
Not a
She
good
was a heel.
wrestler.
Um, when she was very much improved from when she
Okay.
first came in.
All
When
right.
she first when she was first on TV, she was the cheerleader for the Varsity Blondes, Brian Pillman Jr.
Right.
and Griff Garrison. But then then the whole storyline she was in, she got misted in the face and
Right.
eventually joined the House of Black. And
Right.
I mean, she was definitely very much improved.
Okay. All right.
Um, and she was pretty well liked.
So that's
So
what you're thinking is Julia Hart will probably interfere or come out, for
just,
that
yeah,
segment.
maybe come out and ruin it. Um,
Hmm.
I know Sky Blue, possibly Sky Blue could be coming back. She's been hurt.
Hmm.
She
Any
made an
potential
appearance.
debuts?
I don't think so.
So and so is now all elite. I don't know. I haven't. So full disclosure. I had a moment between the last show and this show where I stopped reading the dirt sheets. Um, I don't know specifically what did it. I started to get annoyed with social media. I think in general. We talked about it before. I removed myself from Twitter. I'm on BlueSky now. There's just so much toxicity on social media, and especially in the comment sections in the dirt sheet websites where I was just something clicked in me where I was just like, you know what? I don't need this shit. why,
Yeah.
why do I have this? So, full disclosure, I don't read the dirt sheets anymore. I just don't care anymore. I don't really want to. There's sometimes I'm curious and I want to know, stuff, but I don't really want to know about the shows anymore.
I don't want to know about that kind of stuff. I don't,
Yeah.
want to know surprises, leaks of things that are going to happen. Sometimes it's interesting to hear, when contracts run out, when they
Yeah.
get extended. That I'm going to extend it because you were injured for 6 months, so we're going to extend it for 6 months. That kind of
Or
stuff.
when someone re-signs with a company,
Yeah,
so
when someone
you know
resigns and
not
stuff.
to
But
expect them elsewhere. Yeah.
yeah,
I wish that stuff
you know,
was a little bit more public, in all honesty. But I can also understand that keeping that stuff secret is probably I don't know. It's good for good to keep your competition in the dark.
yeah,
So I get it, but
but the
at the same
whole,
time, it's like sports. That stuff's not kept in the dark. When someone's contracts ending.
yeah,
You know
and,
trades happen. Well,
and it's like a TV show. If I'm watching a 24 episodes of a show that I watch, I don't want to know at the beginning of episode one. I don't know. I don't want to know what's going to happen at the end of episode 20.
Yeah, that's a good point as well.
I don't want to read a show that, read notes about a show and know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I guess we're both dirt sheetless moving forward, which is pretty cool.
yeah, I mean a little bit. I'm on social media
Wrestling Nation Zone,
a
which
fair amount.
stuff gets
So
spoiled every so often.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not to
Stop
mention
doing that, people.
any names. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
For future predictions, that I am no longer viewing the dirt sheets.
That's
I slowed down in the last couple of months, but now I'm like, I haven't looked at one in like, I don't know, 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Yeah. I mean that's how I enjoyed watching it as a kid. You didn't know what was going to happen. It was real to you. I'm not naive to the fact that they're not generally they're not really trying to hurt each other or hit each other or hate each other in real life. But I don't always want to know what's going to happen.
Agreed.
It just takes some enjoyment out of watching.
Yeah.
When you know everything.
Agreed. All right. So that is our AEW Full Gear predictions episode. If you want to follow us on Twitter, we are at @coop_entertain. If you want to reach out to me specifically, I am on BlueSky at TJ-Leo.
I am at Cole2K on both X and BlueSky.
And if you want to email in questions to be featured on the show or comments, or just want to reach out to us for whatever reason, co.op.podcasts@gmail.com. We'll be back next week for our results show for Full Gear to see how our predictions landed, rate the matches, all that good stuff. Yeah. Do you have anything else to add?
You can find us on the Wrestling Nation Zone Discord at discord.gg/Wrestling Nation Zone.
Yeah, we should always plug that. I agree.
Yeah.
I should be adding that into the outro. I agree. All right. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. We'll be back next week. And until then, have a good one.
Have a good one.